Hold tight Britain because Westminster just erupted. Just moments ago, Nigel Farage took the floor during Prime Minister's questions and delivered what can only be described as a political thunderstrike. Angela Rayner, Labour's Deputy Prime Minister, walked in prepared to defend Keir Starmer's teetering government. She walked out shredded, not just in reputation but in credibility. What was meant to be a routine defence of Labour's record turned into a brutal dissection of its failures, with Farage acting more like a prosecutor than a politician. June 25, 2025, House of Commons. The air thick with tension. Rayner steps up to the dispatch box to explain away a £22 billion budget deficit that's left the nation seething. She tries to spin the crisis, blaming the Tories for a broken economy. But her words stumble, out half-formed, half-hearted, and immediately drowned by jeers from across the chamber. Labour's benches shift uneasily, then Farage rises. He doesn't need a grand gesture, just a glance, a smirk, and that unmistakable tone. The Honourable Lady dares speak of responsibility. He begins, voice sharpened to a blade, and then he slashes a net migration surge to 1.2 million in 2024, £8.3 billion spent on migrant housing, elderly Britons in fuel poverty. Labour, he says, isn't governing, it's surrendering. Rayner flushes red. Her rebuttal, a limp appeal to compassion, vanishes under the Commons' roar. Farage pivots to Brexit. He accuses Labour of crawling back to Brussels under the guise of trade partnerships, citing a 2025 IFS report that claims Labour's EU-aligned policies have cost the country over £10 billion in tariffs. Small businesses are suffocating, and Labour's global partnerships sound more like chains than deals. Then comes the real punch. Your speech wasn't just a failure, Farage declares, voice booming. It was a betrayal of every Brit who voted for freedom in 2016. The chamber convulses, even Speaker Lindsay Hoyle can't restore calm. This wasn't a debate. This was a mauling. Farage's performance equal parts data, fury, and populist. Fire cut through the noise. The spectacle exposed more than just Rayner's shaky command. It crystallized a national mood, a sense of betrayal, exhaustion, and raw indignation with the political elite. That £22 billion black hole Labour's trying to explain away. It's not abstract. It's a knife in the back of every voter who trusted Starmer for stability. Chancellor Rachel Reeves' response: a £35 billion tax grab and a 2% national insurance hike has hammered workers and businesses alike. Over 12,000 small firms have collapsed in 2025 alone. And Labour's answer: £7 billion dumped into net zero projects, including wind farms that won't power a kettle for years. Meanwhile, energy bills are up 18% and the elderly are freezing. Farage, never one to miss a cue, is capitalizing. Reform UK is now polling at 22%, just behind Labour's shrinking 28% and the Conservatives' stagnant 24%. In places like Clacton, Skegness and Hartlepool, Reform's Britain First rhetoric is no longer fringe, it's becoming mainstream. Immigration is where Labour's wounds are deepest, and Farage knows it. 40,000 illegal channel crossings last year, grooming gangs still terrorizing towns. Labour's response: vague calls for unity. Meanwhile, the Office for National Statistics confirms 1.2 million net migrants in 2024, 70% from non-EU countries. Ipsos says Labour's immigration approval sits at a miserable 17%. Farage taps into this fury like a conductor. He's not just attacking, he's amplifying the outrage of those who feel forgotten. Nurses, factory workers, pensioners, they're not nodding along with Labour's excuses, they're erupting. My mate Donald Trump warned me, Farage quips. The borders lose the nation. The chamber gasps. Reform's base roars. And this isn't just noise on the Commons floor. Online, the movement is exploding. #Rayner resign trends within hours, racking up over 180,000 posts. One Sheffield factory worker posts: Farage nailed it. Labour's betrayed us. A Newcastle nurse echoes Rayner's a disgrace. Across working-class strongholds, support is shifting. Hartlepool flipped in 2024. Barnsley and Doncaster are on the verge. The Sunday Express reports that in Hartley, 71% now back Reform's immigration stance. And it's not just sentiment, it's numbers. Reform's membership has surged 30% since January, hitting 125,000. Their ex-following is over 1.2 million. This isn't a protest vote anymore, it's a movement. Meanwhile, Labour flounders. Their trade deals are slapping UK exporters with over £10 billion in tariffs. The NHS waiting list, a record 7.8 million. And still Starmer's team talks about windmills and global cooperation while people freeze and businesses close. Farage's PMQ masterclass wasn't just a moment, it was a manifesto in real time. He linked Labour's obsession with net zero to real-world pain, skyrocketing bills, job losses, and a sense of national decline. This isn't confined to Reform's base. Even Labour's own supporters are jumping ship. I voted Labour for change, a Manchester cabbie told GB News. All I got was higher taxes and more migrants. Reform's Britain First platform capped net migration at 100,000, bought illegals. Ditch net zero dogmas, pulling in voters who feel like strangers in their own country. It's not just Britain watching. Across the Atlantic, J.D. Vance tweeted, "Farage is waking Britain up like Trump did America." Elon Musk joined the chorus. The people want their country back. Reform's X account gained 25,000 new followers overnight. What happened in Parliament wasn't just a viral moment. It was a national reckoning. Angela Rayner didn't just flounder, she ignited a rebellion. From coastal ports to red wall towns, Brits are rallying behind Farage's vision, a sovereign, secure, and self-respecting Britain. Keir Starmer's government, just over a year in, already looks like it's running on fumes. A Times poll says 62% of voters want him gone by 2026. Whispers of a leadership challenge are getting louder. Farage is circling, already plotting the next strike. "The elites are crumbling," he said at a Kent rally, "and reform will finish the job." This isn't just a shift in politics, it's a shift in identity. Farage is offering something tangible: borders, energy security, sovereignty. Labour's reply: green slogans and EU handshakes. For the 17.4 million who voted Brexit, it feels like betrayal all over again. Reform is charging forward. Electoral forecasts suggest they could win over 50 seats. By 2029, maybe more if Labour continues its slide. Hartlepool, Barnsley, Doncaster, all within reach. This wasn't just a speech, it was a signal flare. Britain is angry, Farage is listening, and Labour, they're on the ropes. The question now is simple. Was today the day Britain changed course for good?